Hi guys, welcome to tonight's Cassiopia Schooner Project Report. The calm before the storm. Tomorrow morning at about 7 o'clock apparently, it's going to start blowing. And it's going to blow for, I don't know, a week. And so I'm doing all of the things that I do in order to make that, to get ready for that. So one of the things that's happening right now is the little Kubota is running. By the way, hi, I love ya. Oh yeah, that's our gift, love. It's going up there everywhere. It's coming back. We're gonna spread it all over everywhere. In fact, let's go ahead and post our colors right away. Just right away, because it is, in fact, one of the coolest parts about our whole idea. Because this is going to work all over the entire planet to make all sorts of things that everybody's worried about, viruses and climate change and jobs and, the Illuminati and all that stuff. Well, let's just have some of this. Why not? And in fact, there's even a saying. It's called peace of mind. And I think that the idea about, making sure that your thoughts are creating peace of mind is not a bad idea for today's environment. I'm going to take you inside, but I've got to shut down the motor. But I just wanted to show you this again, just for fun, just for all of you guys that, are yachties and stuff. This is the control lever for this engine, and that's the shift lever. So if I push down, it goes in forward. If I pull it up, it goes in reverse. Okay? Well, at least so far with Bill's transmission. We'll see how that lasts. And then this thing here is the throttle. So if you're good, like I'm getting pretty good now, I can push the stick to the side. You can see this little stick. See how it moves and it catches in grooves? Well, I push that to the side and pull it up. Woo! And there we go. But, in order to slow it down, you just push it down. The only problem is if you push it down too far, well, it stops. So for all of you guys who don't know about diesels, that is the bilge alarm. The oil pressure alarm going off, because now the engine stopped. It doesn't have any oil pressure. So I have to turn the key off and then the alarm stops. Well, the good news is that the lovely little Kubota started up perfectly and ran perfectly and all of that sort of thing. The weird thing about tonight is that there's something really, really, really different. And I didn't even notice it until I started, I looked at my computer clock and I started getting all ready and everything. And then I noticed my other phones, all three of them that I've got in order to make this happen, all said it was a different time. So all I can assume, I don't pay attention to time near enough apparently, because all I can assume is that daylight savings time has ended or started or whatever it is that they do to move that hour, because it certainly seems an hour later tonight at 5:30 than it did yesterday. Okay. I'm not. So, time is a very interesting. God, I sprung a leak trying to turn that. Put us in forward and reverse. Busted my hand. So time is one of those things about us yachties that is. It's a really, really unusual aspect because we don't really, we lose all track of time. I got into the San Blas Islands and I had no idea what month it was. I couldn't, and I was panicking because I wasn't sure when we cleared in and when we had to clear out. And I was like, does anybody on board know what day it was? And, you know, we didn't have connectivity. We couldn't go check anywhere. And literally no one on board. We started to have to go back and recreate days and moments and thoughts in order to figure out what day it was. I mean, time is just a crazy issue. Okay. Oh, so tonight I've got something sort of interesting to talk about as far as what's going on with everybody else, because it's sort of an interesting welcome to my world. Apparently, when you contract this virus that's going around, one of the major side effects is that you lose your sense of smell. Most times that's temporary. That's kind of a good thing. I was born without a sense of smell. Anosmia has been my life. I have no idea. Yeah, you could fill a glass with petrol and I would think it was beer until it got so close to my face that it burned my eyes. I can't smell a thing, never, well, maybe I will one day. Maybe there's going to be a lot of new research right now because I'm excited about that because that's a distinct possibility. But I just wanted to let these guys in on a few secrets. You know, if you happen to have had COVID and you happen to have lost your smell, the best way to determine whether milk is sour is to pour it into a clear glass, one of those like tall glasses, iced tea glass, you know, but a glass, okay? Can't be plastic. Pour it into a tall glass and swirl it around a bit and then pour it into another glass and check what's left. And you can pretty much determine whether it's iffy or not iffy, you know, but I'm telling you, one of the worst things in the whole world is to get up and make your first cup of coffee and pour the milk in it, and of course it's gone off because you couldn't just go and determine whether the milk was off. Let's see, a few other things. I suppose that, you know, if you notice that there's little crawly things in your garbage, it probably stinks. People will tell you, that stinks, man. And laundry is sort of a funny thing. That's one of the really difficult ones about, you can sort of feel laundry. Like if your shorts, if you put them in the corner and they just stand there on their own, probably there might be getting a little bit smelly, you know. Shirts are a little bit different. That's why I wear these a lot, you know, because then I don't have a shirt to get, you know, and of course I can't do this either. So I have to rely on friends. So that's one of the things that I also have to mention is that now that, you know, if you are in this situation where you can't smell anymore, you just have to reach out. You've just got to say, hey man, please tell me, please tell me if I smell bad, because I don't know. And so, you know, most of my exes all, you know, smell is connected to really deep stuff, memories. I mean, it's really an interesting, invisible thing to have had missing my whole life. I have no clue what it must be like to be attracted to a lover because of a perfume that they're wearing. I've never worn perfumes because I can't visualize what I would smell like. I don't know if I want to run around smelling like a forest, or if I want to run around smelling like autumn leaves, or if I want to run around smelling like a brute. I have no idea what that means to people, how they respond to people. So I just smell like me, which apparently apparently is the smell of diesel. I've lived aboard Cassiopia for 30 years. Apparently, most of my clothes and me kind of smell like diesel. So my exes have fond memories whenever they go to the place and a trucker's filling up his tanks, because they get a whiff of diesel and it reminds them of me. So it's a very interesting, for me, thing that's going on right now, with so many people becoming aware of what an incredible loss it is to not have a sense of smell. And luckily, most of theirs are going to come back. But I am excited that there could be some more research on smell in general. And we're going to have to start the show earlier from now on, because it's getting dark, isn't it? I had to have a light. Good grief. Oops, I really did bang my hand. So there's tonight's story about smell. There's other things about smell, you know. I mean, like, your girlfriend, they smell different one day from another day, and you know, and so most guys are really diplomatic about that, I guess, and everything. But I have no clue. You know, I have to. You know how you can tell? You know what I used to do when I go out on a date? You know, first couple of dates before I actually confided that, okay, I can't smell. And I would taste this really nasty stuff on their neck, and I would say, "Man, you sure do smell good." Perfume tastes like crap. If all you girls didn't know, I guess guys put up with it for the smell. But that's how it goes. One thing about this hour change is that it is, in fact, really, really beautiful out there. I mean, look out the windows. It's a great view. There is a catamaran just a little bit too close for my liking, but that's all right. I just talked to them. I said I was going to let out more scope when the wind comes tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And I warned them that I was, going to get closer, and they seem to think that they're good. And I was here first, and they're insured. So I just can't believe how dark it is, guys. This is kind of cool. This is the amber time, the last part of it. And so we better get to what we've got to get to, because you know what? This ship is sitting here so perfectly, so quietly, so nicely waiting. I just unwrapped the anchors again. I did what I was trying to do the other night and coiled it up and threw it around a few times and got them all unwrapped, so I'm all set. The engine's running. I've got, the other anchor rigged with an extra rode on it, so in case, it all goes really, really squirrely, I've got another anchor to throw. That's what I meant to do while I was talking to you guys. I'm going to take down all of these lazy jacks and all the halyards and do what I do and wrap them around the mast. I'm just going to go ahead and do that because it makes good sense to just get rid of that amount of windage is a lot of windage. So this vessel, I am doing everything I can to keep this lovely vessel afloat until we get our new engine, until we get our haul out, until we get our sticks, and until we go do the amazing things that we're going to do. Yay for us. So this vessel has a tradition. And every time we get underway, we perform said tradition because it brings us luck. Aboard the good ship Cassiopia, we have a tradition that goes like this. It goes, here's to the good ship Cassiopia. Hip hip, hooray. And to her stalwart crew, hip hip, hooray. And to the great King Neptune, we're coming, brother. Hip hip, hooray. Okay, so we've got all the practicalities out of the way. And now I want to talk to you about something that's a little bit closer to my heart, because more and more things are coming to a head. You know, we've got an election that's coming to a head. We've got global climate change that's coming to a head. We've got social issues that are coming to a head involving people's sexuality and things like that. We've got all sorts of things that are reaching what you might call tipping points. You know, I mean, that's what they use for the climate stuff, is they use the word tipping points. But what about other tipping points? What about points in human consciousness and human awareness and human, you know, belief and all of that kind of thing? The stuff that's maybe on the other side, and the stuff that is actually why we have religions, the stuff that is why we have gurus and why we have shaman, and why we tend to put indigenous peoples on a pedestal, because they were closer to nature and they were more in tune with their ancients, and they talked to the ancients, and so ghost. And so for me, I do take on a large amount of that world. I believe that aspect of the human experience is important, and I believe that it too is on the edge of a tipping point, which is ideally situated considering the tipping points of technology. And again, artificial intelligence. That is intelligence. That's a very interesting concept, you know, and what has been presented is the basic facts that this intelligence is going to be more intelligent than all of us can be. But we all know that the human experience isn't all about intelligence. It's about intelligence and something else, something bigger, something that we are connected to that has to do with transmitting energy from heart to heart, from place to place. Healers can heal people all over the world. That's just bizarre. And Einstein's science supports all of those things. Electron here turning this way, electron here turns this way too. No time. Exactly at the same time. That's impossible, because there has to be time for it to get from there to there, but no, it happens. And so these sorts of thoughts, these sorts of things are also the kinds of things that I think we ought to be considering, along with, you know, picking up our plastic and getting the carbon out of the air and paying attention to the data and all that kind of stuff. There is a whole nother level of what we are about that, as a sailor, it is so easy to believe in. There's very few sailors I know who've been doing it for a long time who have not, especially those who have single-handed, especially those who have, you know, or short crewed. I've rarely met one that hasn't felt a presence aboard at times where it was really needed. You have to believe. There's no way not to believe. It's like me and my buddy Rob that I told the story about ages and ages and ages ago, who came back and haunted my house. There's no way not to believe that something is going on that is on that level. So I'm really, really interested in how our fleet can present people with experiences on the ocean that open their mind's eye to this type of thinking and help them create a belief that that level, that area of your life is one to enhance, is one to believe in, is one to look to for the solutions of today's problems. There you go. Well, it wasn't much of a story, but I'll tell you what, I've blown myself up a couple of times not being able to smell. Natural gas, you know, they they make it smell bad. It doesn't smell bad. So they make it smell bad so all of you guys can smell it. Well, I'm sitting there at the furnace of my house, the one with the ghost. I'm sitting down there under the furnace. You know how the furnace is always down on the bottom and everything, and it was in the laundry room, so I couldn't get into it without closing the laundry room door, hollow core door. So I got down there, click, 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 trying to light the violet light. All of a sudden, boom! Blew me through the door. I left a Bugs Bunny imprint in the hollow core door. It was, Wile E. Coyote. I have had really embarrassing moments where, say, 20 minutes after I dropped everybody back off at shore after having them out for dinner and everything, and 4 or 5 people, we all had a great time, so I thought. And then I had to run back into shore, and I pass them, and they're all sitting there at the bar, and I walk and I overhear a conversation, and they're saying, "Can you believe that he lives like that? That smell! God, how could anybody live with that smell?" And I'm like, "Oh no, the cat box. Oh no, that egg. It must have been that egg that fell off the back of the stove. Oh man." So enjoy your olfactory senses this evening. All of you who are blessed to be able to have that constant input of amazing whiffs and things that, right before dinner, by the way, taste is different from smell. You smell it all the way until you put it in your mouth. Now, apparently, people in COVID are losing their taste as well, but I also think that they are maybe not losing their taste as much as they think. They're losing their smell, which affects their taste so much because you smell it all the way to your mouth and then you expect something. And so it's already changed what's going to happen when you put something in your mouth. And so I would love to have a study done on people like me compared to people that are just losing their smell and their taste, and see actually how much they can really taste. I think I have good taste. I like you guys. Okay. Schooner Project report is that the transmission is going to be coming. I worked all day on the engine day. I got all of the hot dogs hooked up. I got all of I've started on the exhaust hose. Everything's pretty much ready to go. So when Jesse and those guys get here, vroom, away we go, which is going to make me feel so much better. And I was really hoping that the weather that's coming tomorrow morning was going to wait like 4 or 5 days until I already had this engine. But that's all right. We're going to get through this next blow, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. All right. It'll be windy tomorrow. And it'll be getting dark again too. So I'll try and be on time, or more on time, or maybe I'll have to shift this to earlier because, man, it's dark.